What is up, guys? It is the Blue Bloods here. And I told y'all we only get the best of the best for the show, man. And we got arguably the best player in the SoCon and the FCS and Montrell Washington going to the NFL draft, man, a three-time All-American out of Samford and was even a two-time All-American in the same year. One is a wide receiver, one is a return specialist. You probably saw him on SportsCenter top 10 for the whole week during the week of that Florida game where he just embarrassed the Gators special teams and defense all game long, man. Montrell, appreciate you joining me.
I appreciate it being here, and thanks for the intro. Seriously.
Oh man, no problem, no problem. So we got to go way back to high school, man. You won a bunch of awards. Were all state, all district. I mean,
Mhm.
you won a lot of stuff in high school, man. So what was your recruiting process like out of high school? Who was recruiting you the hardest, and what kind of led you to Sanford?
Well, coming out of high school, to be honest with you, I didn't have the best grades, to be honest with you. So that's why my recruiting wasn't, I think, as big as as big as I think it should have been. But Samford, KSU, Valdosta State, and I believe Wingate were my only offers coming out of high school. And it was definitely out of KSU or Sanford just because they were Division 1 programs, and I just always wanted to play D1. That was just the dream of just playing anywhere Division 1. And my best friend actually Andrew Harris, he was we went to the same high school as well, and I mean I looked up to him in high school, wanted to play just like him, and with him going to Sanford and him being there, it was a no brainer. So I I just followed him. It was like big brother little brother type thing. So I just followed Big Bro, and it turned out to be the best thing I kind of not kind of, but the best thing and best decision I've ever made. So
Man, it paid off in a big way. I mean, you've had more successful years than a lot of people have in just like their entire career at Sanford, man. You've done it all American, SoCon All American. I mean, you've done it. But for you, man, I want to key in on this because I you have players and fans ask, how do people see the field early, man? Instant impact freshman. You were one of the top freshmen in the SoCon as soon as you stepped on campus, man. For you, looking back, what were the keys to you to being that instant impact freshman for the Bulldogs?
well, coming in my freshman year, actually, it was more so just me doing whatever the team needed. To be honest with you, if that meant being on kickoff, I wanted to be on kickoff. That meant being on punt block or being a running back, which that's kind of what they put me at when I first got there as running back. Uh, I just wanted to be on the field. So really, whatever coach needed or whatever coach wanted me to do, that's what I was doing. And for guys coming in, to be honest with you, if I were y'all, definitely get on special teams because that's the way to get on the field the quickest. I don't if no one's ever told you that special team is the quickest way to get on the field, and that's the quickest way to earn your rank on any college team is to play special teams, and that's kind of where I started off at, and it went from there.
Man, and, I'm glad you mentioned special teams because you knew it was coming.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I mean, I would say, and I'll argue with anybody, the best return specialist in the FCS is right here on the show, man. And
thank
you got plenty of highlights to prove it, and especially that one in the swamp where I believe it was 99 yards, man,
yes.
in the swamp this year. It was crazy, and I don't know how you did it because I mean, you hit the pile and you came out on the other side. And I remember watching that game, like, there's no way that's the same guy. He had to drop the ball or something like that. But for you, man, what are the keys to being such a dynamic return specialist?
Just to be honest with you, just going out there and just making a play, just knowing that that's your only opportunity to make the play because you're not gonna always get the ball on offense. So my motto, I guess, what I would have to say is just every punt return, my goal is to score. I would tell all my players, I'm going to score. And it's kind of bad to say, but I would tell everybody I don't fair catch. So any chance I got, I didn't care if they were 2 yards, a yard. I'm bringing it out, and I wanted them to know that they can trust me, and I was going to make the play. It was no questions about it. I was going to make the play, and I was going to make it happen for my guys because when I score, we all score. You know what I mean? And some guys that were on special teams, that was the only thing they did. So for me to be able to make plays on special teams, it was like a highlight for all of us. So yeah, I would just have to say, just I don't know. It was just I don't. I really don't have just one answer for it. I'm sorry, but just yeah,
Man, hey, you're either the return specialist or you're not. That's pretty much the best one. Because I mean, I give you guys a lot of respect. Because I mean, I don't think people realize how hard it is to be a good return specialist, and
Mhm.
that's why there's so few. You look at Devin Hester, and then it's really
Yes,
just like a
sir.
conversation with everybody else at this point. I mean, he kind of set the bar so
Oh
high
yeah.
that no one's even been able to get near it. But man, the FCS gets no respect, as we both know. Me covering it, you playing in the FCS, it gets overlooked sometimes. But you guys, as athletes, went through one of the hardest seasons or years in college football history, having to play 2 years, 2 seasons in 1 year, had to
Mhm.
play the spring and come back and play in the fall. For you, what were some of the biggest challenges playing 2 seasons in 1 year?
Biggest challenges I would probably have to say just staying healthy. To be honest with you, staying healthy. Um, just keeping everybody kind of just level headed because some during the spring season most teams were like kind of like forfeiting and not wanting to play during the COVID time. So it was just more so, excuse me, more so just keeping everybody just like, all right, we're good. We're gonna play these games. The games we do play, let's make the most of it. Let's not complain about it. At least we get to play. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say just keeping everybody together and just enjoying the moment, just living in the moment and playing the games that we did get to play. And once we got to play those, and we got to play in the fall, it was, I mean, it was great, especially for the seniors and me personally, because you know what I mean. That's just more film. And then for the younger guys, it was also I was explaining to them that it's just more film for y'all as well. If y'all wanted to leave, or if y'all wanted to, you know what I'm saying, just get yourselves out there even more. Ball. This is our chance to ball. We're doing something that other teams are not able to do right now. So this is our chance to take an advantage. So that would definitely be just keeping everybody level headed and trying to take advantage of the opportunity.
Man, I like it. And I give you guys a lot of props for everyone who had to play. I mean, because some teams were played like 20, almost 30
Hmm.
games
Oh
in a
yeah,
year. That's unheard of in college football. So shout out to all the FCS athletes out there. But
appreciate that. Yes, sir.
we we got to talk about your last season, man, the 2021 season. And as an analyst, I defined it as a season of what ifs for Samford. There were, I believe, 5 out of the 6 losses. You guys, it was either a one possession loss or you guys led late in the second half. And so there was a lot of games where 1, 2 possessions really defined the game. But for your last season, man, what were your final takeaways on it?
Just being out there with the brothers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of enjoyed it. Win, lose, draw. It I really wasn't worrying about that. I was just taking everything in, knowing that was my last season. I get to play as a Sanford Bulldog, and kind of this was going to be some of the last time I get to see these guys and play with them. So for me, it was more so just taking it all in, playing every game like it's my last, being out there doing whatever I could for guys that maybe won't play at the next level or may not want to play at the next level. Just you know what I'm saying. So it was just making the most of every opportunity I got, and just doing it for my brothers, and not just more so just for me, because you get some guys that you know what I'm saying, that's in it just for themselves and not for the team. And it was, yeah, for me it was just being able to just finish this last year out, play with my brothers. Didn't matter if we won, didn't matter if we lost. It sucked to lose sometimes, you know what I mean, the way we lost some games. But for us to be able to just play those 2 seasons and me finish out with them, that's all I really was caring about, to be honest with you.
Man, you guys did it big, and that's a great answer to that question. But one game in particular, I know a few people who, when I told them I was having you on, they were like, "You got to ask them about the Florida game," because that was the game that put you on a lot of people's
Oh
maps,
yeah.
really and truly, because you were all over Sports Center, man. You had the kickoff return, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown, which made the Sports Center top 10 with the one-handed catch. For you, man, what was it about that game, man? And looking back now, how big of a moment was that for you to do it in the swamp on the biggest stage?
To be honest with you, growing up, I actually was a Florida fan. So for me to be able to play in Florida in an environment in the SEC with the best of the best, supposedly football, and to do what I did it was a dream come true. To be honest with you, I. It took me a minute to honestly like take it all in. Like I'm still kind of like mind blown about it to this day. Like people still talk about the kick return. People still telling me about the one hand catch. Like you know what I mean? You're not supposed to be able to do this. Those were all supposed to be 5-star, 4-star athletes. You know what I mean? Guys that were supposed to be better than you, and You know what I mean? You made it look like it was like you were in the backyard. It was something that for me it was just it was a dream come true, and I was glad I was able to perform for my brothers. Like I said, it was, you know what I mean, for my team. I was, and you know what I mean. We got everybody to actually notice, like, Samford Bulldogs. Okay, they're ballers. They can do this. Just because they're FCS, it does not matter. They got guys that can ball. They can hang with the best of them. They may not win all of the games that they do play, but they got fight in them, and they got guys that are really actually that are really pretty good. You know what I mean? So it was fun, and but the yeah, it was a dream come true. I can't even lie to you. It was crazy. It was
I mean,
crazy.
to put up half 100 on the defending SEC East champs in their house, and I mean, I remember my phone because I was at a game covering it, and my phone was blowing up, and they were like, "Are you watching Sanford?" I'm like, "Sanford." I was like, "Aren't they playing Florida this week?" And they're like, "They're up like 42 points." I'm like, 42 points in the first half. Like, what is going on, man? But that was a great game. But we got to look at your whole career, man. I've mentioned all the accolades in the intro. We've talked about some of them, but if you had to give yourself a letter grade for your career at Samford, what would you give yourself?
If I had to give myself a letter grade, I would honestly say I would say A plus. And the only reason I would say that is because any of my teammates, any of my coaches could tell you, I I grew up a lot throughout my years at Samford, from freshman year all the way until now. It's kind of like a complete different person, and you know what I mean. That's what it's all about. You know, you live, you learn, you grow from mistakes, you grow from, you know what I mean. You grow up, and you learn how to be not a professional yet, but you learn how to, do professional things. If you want to go to the next level, you learn things, and you learn how to, control what you can control. And for me, that was I definitely grew up a lot, and for me to actually get the education part as well from Sanford, which that was something that was hard for me at first. I'm not gonna lie, but for me to do that and finish out the season like I did, I would have to say A plus, because I definitely worked hard for it, and I appreciate everybody that helped me along the way as well, for sure.
Oh man, I love that answer. You were the first player to give themselves credit on the podcast, and I'm so happy to hear it because I everyone's just so tough on themselves. They're like D minus, and it's like you got to. That's not. Listen, it's an A plus career. I agree with you completely. Glad that you gave yourself the props on that one. And you mentioned in the classroom and as a person how you've grown, but in terms of the football field, man, take me back to Montrell Washington freshman year, stepping onto campus, to the Montrell I'm talking to now. How has the on the field game evolved since then?
Well, to be honest with you, coming in at first, like I said, I was came in as a running back. Didn't do much like punt returns and things like that, because we had Kelvin McKnight, of course, probably the greatest receiver to come from Sanford, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie to you. We had him, so I got to learn from him. You know, my freshman, sophomore year, him, Andrew Harris, and a couple other guys, Chris Shellen, and got to learn from them guys, Doug, on how to, just carry yourself. And for my freshman year, went in. Every freshman just wants to get out there and just play. Wasn't really too into it. Sophomore year came around. I mean, I was into it, but just, not real serious, I guess. Then, once those guys were leaving, all the top guys that we had on the team, at that point, junior year come around, you kind of started to become like the leader on your team. So learning just from Duck and all those guys, just learning how to, be that guy that everyone's gonna look up to. You kind of, okay, take a deep breath. You see that everyone's gonna look up to you, and you're gonna be the guy. You're gonna be the guy that everyone needs to make a play, that coaches are gonna depend on, and you gotta really you take it all in, and you stay level headed, and you go from there. And for me, it was, I would say, my junior season. That's when I really got really into it and started to kind of get that leader role and start making plays for the team and start really being that guy, like, okay, this kid can actually play. And from junior season on, the COVID, and then my senior season, it was just a huge jump. So I would, yeah, that's
Man, I like it. And so, the last one before we get to know you a bit more as a player, man, you played with two really great quarterbacks, Leon Welch and of course Chris Oladokun as well now at South Dakota State after he transferred out, man. How close were you guys and what was that chemistry like on the field? Because Leon was also an All-American this year
Oh
as
yeah.
well, along with yourself, and Chris Oladokun has experienced his success as well. What was the relationship like with you and those two quarterbacks, and how important is that for the quarterback wide receiver dynamic?
But both of them guys are my brothers. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm real close with both of them. I'm actually gonna be playing with Chris in the NFLPA Bowl coming up, so that's good. We get to reunite. But to hit it off with Liam, just to start with him, it's probably no other guy I would rather shoot up with every Saturday, go out there and play with. Just he little did he know, but he really taught me how to be a leader. I would have to say, to be honest with you, because he came in every day ready to work, ready to ball, didn't complain. I'm talking he would have a great practice and still be kind of mad at himself, like I could have done better, I could have did this better. He If Liam threw a ball a little bit over, like too far or something over from one of his receivers, it would bug him. And for me to see that, it just made me want to just play better for him and be a better athlete, because I seen the way he carried himself. So if I ran a route too shallow, or if I didn't catch a ball the way, or how I was supposed to, it made me fix the little details that needed to be fixed, because I seen the way that he carried himself and how he was so detailed and everything throughout practice. It just it's I don't think it's no one like Liam. In my opinion, he's the ultimate teammate. He was just I can go on about Liam all day. That's my guy, and that's yeah. They're two
That
different kind
good.
of quarterbacks for sure. I can say that. But to hit on Chris Oladokun a little bit, Chris is a phenomenal athlete. I'm talking probably he's also one of the best athletes I played with, and to be around Chris also has that leader role. He makes plays. If you need help with anything, he's willing to help you. He's he's a real quarterback, and I mean, everyone can see what he did at his school that he was at this year when they went to the Final Four. I mean, one year you see they almost made it to the championship. That's just how Chris is. He makes the most of all his opportunities. He won't really have a lot of errors. Like, he's just both guys are it's crazy. I'm sorry, but it's both guys are they're deep. Both of them are in my heart for sure. Like, they're great teammates, and those are the two type of quarterbacks anyone would love to play for or play with.
Oh yeah, and I mean the best word to describe them both are playmakers in their own
Yes, for
different
sure.
sort of way, and they both got a big future. We had Chris on the show last offseason, man, great guy. That's my dude.
Oh yeah.
And we've been following him up at South Dakota State, man. But let's get to know you as a player a bit more, man. And you can give me one as a return specialist, one as a wide receiver as well. But which NFL or former NFL player do you think you model your game after the most?
I'll start with the return specialist for sure, Devin Hester, and I've watched every return. I've watched every kick return, every punt return. I've tried every move he's done in the game, even when coach didn't like it. I would make the play, so you know what I mean. I really didn't get in trouble for it, but like, special team wise, Devin Hester 100%. Like, I try to model every return, just whatever Devin Hester does, I want to do. If I have not tried it yet, I at least attempted. Like, like it's crazy. That's Devin Hester for sure as a return specialist. Every literally just that's I even got him as my background on my phone. Like, I'm a huge fan of Devin Hester, and just play style. I guess slot receiver wise. I mean, he doesn't play outside, but I don't play outside as much. But I would have to say Tyree Hill, just because of my speed. I like the way he uses his speed for advantage, and you know what I mean. You can't touch what you can't catch, and he's a guy that most people don't get his hands on because of his speed, and he makes plays. And that's kind of how I kind of see myself as just a guy with a lot of speed that makes plays when plays are needed to be made. So yeah, for sure, that
I,
those two for sure.
I like it, man. I like it. And I'm, any NFL kickers listening, y'all better kick to my guy next year. I don't want to see
Please.
y'all kicking it out of bounds, because give my guy a chance. And I promise he's gonna get one on you next year, but don't kick it out of bounds on him. I need to see him get some returns. But man, I know some people are very superstitious, pregame. I know I was when I was playing, but for you, what's your pregame routine on Saturdays?
Uh, well, my pregame routine. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not one of those guys that go out and do all the warm ups and all the stretching. For me, to be honest with you, it's every game is it's I'm not like, I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but I always tell my guys it's just football. You've been doing this all your life. Like, you don't need to do any extra. Just, you know what I mean. So for me, I kind of relax before the games. I'll go in the lounge, watch a little TV with some of the players, literally stretch. That's mainly all I do. I'll go in the lounge and I just stretch and watch TV and just chill, just get my mind right before the game. I don't really do too much. And yeah, when it's time for everybody to go out, that's usually when I go out, and I'll go out with everybody else. But it's yeah, I really don't do too much. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I like it. Hey, you got the Ocho Cinco Deion Sanders, where it's like I just gotta stretch my hips and I'm ready to go, huh? Like I like it. But man, you don't have to give away all your secrets, because I understand how it is. Some DBs might be secretly watching this, trying to get some notes on. But for you, man, if you're one-on-one with a DB, what's the number one mistake they can make against you?
One-on-one with the DB, number one mistake they can make. I don't know. I guess just underestimate my speed, I would have to say. When usually when I see a DB press or anything like that, I kind of feel a little disrespected, like they think I can't get off the line because of how small I am. So I just do what I've been practiced to do throughout practicing and stuff, and usually just my speed takes over, and they got to run then at that point, and most guys don't like to run with me. So
Did you have like a little secret call to Liam or Chris if you saw someone press and you gave them like the little signal? It's like,
oh
throw it up, you know where I'm gonna be.
oh yeah, we got a little signal, especially me and Liam, that we had this season. He'll look out there, and if he see a guy pressed on me, we're going to the box for sure. We're going to the
I love
box.
I love it, man. I love it. But for you, I know how bad DBs are. Every DB I've had on here has admitted to it. All the
Hmm.
wide receivers I've had are like, yeah, DBs are the worst trash talkers
Oh
on
yeah.
any team. For you though, you get a little bit back and forth going? Are you a big trash talker during the game?
Nah, so to be honest with you, for me, it's more so I gain my respect throughout the game. That's my biggest thing. They get to talking and do all the talking. I just, I sit back, I laugh. I may laugh a little bit, but other than that, once I score and put up, 150 plus yards on them, I kind of look at them and say, you know what I mean? Like, you still gonna talk, or but after a couple touchdowns, they usually respect me then. So I just earn my respect. That's all. Not much
Oh,
trash talking to be done. Just play the
hey,
game.
and once you get embarrassed, you can only say so much. After
Exactly.
that, so I got to ask you, man. You've played a lot of football at Samford, and it's gonna be a tough one. So I'll let you think about it. You can give me more than one name, if so. Who's the best trash talker that you've ever had to go heads up against?
Like on the team, or like
It can be
against someone else.
you can give me from Samford, and you can give me one on another team.
The best trash talker, I would have to say, when we played Florida, they all were kind of talking trash a little bit uh, until I earned their respect, and then after that, it was kind of like, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? You know what I mean? And once you hear that, it's like, okay, they respect you now. Now, you know what I mean? It's more of a friendly game after that. But
Yeah.
on the team wise, I would have to say the biggest trash talker would have to be my boy Ty King, and he's actually a receiver. He's not even a DB.
Oh
He's a
man.
receiver. But my man Ty, he'll talk to any he'll oh yeah. Ty King is a big trash talker. So,
He's
but
that guy that's talking trash by himself on the side of your head. I'm like, who are you talking to over there?
man, my boy Ty, he doesn't care who you are. You talk trash to him, he'll give it right back at you, and that's what I love about Ty. Ty King, he's gonna make the play too. He's gonna back it up. So, But yeah,
Oh
biggest trash
man.
talker on Sanford, I would probably have to say my brother Todd King for sure.
Hey, shout out to Tom, man. Keep
Oh
keep
yeah,
talking. I love to see it. But outside of the best trash talker, man, who's the best defensive overall player you've had to go heads up against?
best defensive. Hmm, I would have to say my boys at Sanford. To be honest with you, Chris Edmonds,
Oh, shout out
Cottrell
to him.
Player, uh, my guy L.A. Lamar. He plays safety for us. Just Vaughn, my guy Vaughn. Just our DBs at school. To be honest with you, those guys, we go at it every day, so they kind of know, what are my tendencies? What do I usually do? What move do I like the best? So it's always different when I go against them. So I would definitely have to say my brothers. Not really another team other than when we played Florida. Of course, those DBs,
Yeah.
everybody was great. I'm not gonna lie to you. All their DBs were good. Um, but yeah, other than the SEC boys, I would have to say my guys at Sanford for sure.
I like it, man. We had Chris on the show. He was one of our first ever guests on the show, man. Shout out to Chris Edmonds.
Oh
He
yeah,
said
baller,
tra-
real
tra-
baller.
tra- Buffalo, whoever plays Buffalo this year is in for a rude
Do
awakening, man.
not
Because
throw it his
Edmonds,
way.
yeah, Edmonds can ball now.
Oh
Let me
yeah.
just say that. But man, looking back, man, you've had this illustrious career, man. If you could go back to freshman year, is there anything that you would change that you did?
If I could go back to freshman year, I probably wouldn't change anything. And the only reason I say that is because the things I learned from freshman year until now, it it's taught me just so much. You know what I mean? And the process that I went through and everything, how everything happened, it was a learning experience. So if I was to change anything, I don't think I would have the same kind of results and learn the things that I know now if anything was to change, if that makes sense.
Yeah. For sure, and you're going into the draft process, man. And I'm just here to say, if your name doesn't get called in April, I don't know a single thing about football because it should be called
Thank
in
you.
April, man. Because just due to the versatility, you could be a return specialist, a running back, a wide receiver, you could do it all. But there's going to be the naysayers being an FCS player that you didn't play at the highest level. For you, what is your response to people who overlook you for playing at this level?
Just turn on the Florida game. It's SEC football. That's the best of the best. That's what they say. And I made the most of my opportunity that game with all my brothers, and they could see. But even before that game, I mean, everything I did that game, I was kind of doing the whole season. So uh, I don't know. I mean, just give me a shot. That's all I got to do. Just give me a shot, and I'll make the most of my opportunity for sure.
Oh man, I agree. FCS needs more respect across the board, man. So I'm looking for a bunch more FCS players being drafted this year. The spring, very disappointed at how many FCS players got overlooked in that draft.
Oh
But
yeah.
man, despite all the accolades, despite the NFL draft coming up, man, what keeps you personally motivated year in and year out to keep doing this and keep giving it your all out there?
I would have to say my family. To be honest with you, I do everything for them. I just want to make everybody proud. That's all it is. And when you got people back home just proud of you for the things that you've done, little kids looking up to you, you know what I mean? It makes you want to be great. It makes you want to do the things that the top guys, the other schools do. You know what I mean? It drives me to be the best, or am I the best that I can be? Not the best, but just the best version of me. So yeah, I would have to say the family and the sport that I get from back home and stuff.
Oh man, I like it. And the final question, man, we've been talking the NFL draft toward the end. If an NFL franchise calls you up and asks you what they're going to get if they draft Montrell Washington in April, what do you tell them?
Uh, they're gonna get a guy that's willing to do whatever needs to be done for the team. If that means they want me to be a water boy, I'll be a water boy. If they need me to be a scout, I'll be a scout. If they want a great return man, that's what I'll do. If they want literally whatever it takes.
Oh
And
man, I love that.
yes, sir.
And listen, I'm gonna let you know if you're overlooked in the draft, the Blue Bloods here are making a diss episode on the NFL. There's no reason you should not be called in April, and I'll make that promise to you, man, right here that we'll be the first outspoken ones if Montrell Washington isn't called in April, one of those 3 days of the NFL draft, man. But man, thank you so much, man. I've been looking forward to this one. I know a lot of our listeners were as well, but we're all about promoting players on here, man. This is about you guys and promoting your brand, growing your brand as well. So where can people find you on social media? Any brand deals, shout outs you need to give, man? This time is yours to talk about or shout out anything you want, man.
I guess yeah. I'm on Instagram at _ TRELLL. That's Trail with 3 L's. And then I'm also on Twitter at BD Trail, all caps. Yeah, and I mean for a shout out, I guess I want to give a shout out to Samford Bulldogs. I mean, that's where I come from, and I'm trying to do anything to put them boys on. Whoever comes after me, but yeah, that would be it, and yeah.
Man, I like it. I like it. Guys, go follow Montrell on all social media. As always, I'm going to have it linked below in the description in the comments, man. So make sure to go follow his journey to the NFL draft, man, as he takes his talents to the next level and becomes one of the next stars out of Samford to make it to the league, man. But guys, for Montrell, myself, and the Blue Bloods, we are out for right now.
Thanks.